back to another video, guys. My name is Jay, and I am the owner and founder of a company called Featured Creatures, where we specialize in frogs and a few other things. But today, we are starting out a new project. We're starting out a new one. Oh yeah, you guys haven't seen, there's an update. I'm going to give you guys an update real soon, but I'll give you a small one today. But today, we're going to be focusing on the new project that we're working on. So we have frogs. That's new. But you guys know what I'm talking about from the title of this video, and that is going to be these guys, our hornworms. We got a full hornworm breeding project that we're going to start and try and get a little bit more sophisticated with it. And think, guys, literally, I just put these in here like I got them from the store. I just put them in here earlier, which was my fault. I made the food a little bit too watery, and there's some things that I'll show you of what I did wrong a little bit later. But let me give you guys an update of what's going on. So, obviously for the business, been doing a lot of stuff, building, getting certifications, stuff like that, new things going on. But, with that being said, one of the things that we're doing is the frogs. I don't think I've made a video on them just yet, but I did have a few over the last few videos that I've made. But we do have a dart frog breeding project going on, and I am the leader of that. So you guys are going to be seeing a lot more dart frog videos, as well as our isopods. I did not forget, we have all of these here. All of these have some mold, or not mold, but fungus on the top that I'm trying to get rid of. So I have those at the top. They're going to be getting new bins soon, but I have to separate each one individually. So that one's going to be waiting. But we do have an isopod video that is going to be coming out. I am going to be getting some other isopods. I got other projects like these guys down here, which are there's only a couple of them. There's one of them right there. Let me see if I could zoom in. There we go. There's one right there. And that is a Cubaris red panda. So I have springtail cups ready for people who order like just little soil cups of springtail, just starter colonies of springtails. But in here, we have that guy right there. So that is our red panda king. But it's not a regular panda king. Well, obviously, it's red. But besides for that, there's no line in the middle. So I looked it up, and it's a morph called Citrus. I think it was Red Panda Citrus or something like that, which is like an extra $40 to $50 value. I've seen on 3 different websites. They're around at least $120 to $160. I've seen on 3 different websites, the top websites. I've seen other people sell them for less, but for the most part, more people are selling them for at least like $100 or more. So, good thing. That's why when you have a lot of isopods, it's pretty cool, and sometimes different morphs shoot out. And that came from, we have our Panda Kings right here, and Panda Kings, we have a few in there that are red, but I took those out. But then we got red pandas. Then I bought a couple red pandas and put that down here in that one, and then kind of just got some offshoots of within that cup and got some citrus. So that happened. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna go over the isopods in another video. We have a few other projects going on. I have organized a lot more up here. I know it looks messy, but trust and believe that snake rack's going with some of the snakes. My friend is taking that. He loves snakes a lot more since I get snakes from people sometimes. I just got a rack just to hold on to them, make sure that they're cool, safe, and cared for. Like we got this little one down here, and that's a pied female. But you know, everything else is doing good. So that snake rack's going to be going soon, and then we're going to be putting all of our hornworm stuff here. And that's what this little tank is for. We have some that are already in here, and I'll show you guys a little bit more about that later. But with all of this new organization, everything put around, I got the fruit flies here, a little more organized fruit flies. Then we got all of our frogs with our springtails up there. I'm going to fill up there later. It just looks ugly. And then more frogs right here that are going to eventually be transferred over to this rack. But this rack is going to be changing because if you guys see down there, I got some other videos that are going to be coming out real soon. Boom, boom, boom. That's 3. Obviously, it's going to be, you know, a little bit more tiered up. but at least we're going to have 6 breeding pairs of frogs on this. I'm going to have a small rack on the side for a lot of the babies, because right now they are, you know, got Missouris right there. And we got other babies, Lawas, and we got other ones, Calm Mountains. See, and then it's starting to get orange, not orange. It's just starting to change color, so I change out the bedding every few days. But I want to put them all in a tank, kind of like this one. Not all of them, but like certain species babies, kind of like in a tank just by itself. And this rack is not going to do it for me. I'm going to be using this one as the breeding rack. But there's that. Then we've been working on our mite-free containers of fruit flies in general. So we have, you know, as you guys can see, everything on the powder is what's mite-free. So we found some special people who've really been working on it for a while. And then just taking some other cups of our own, and then just dusting them. So we just dust them after 3 to 4 generations. So some of these, this one is the one that we got from one of our friends. And then some of these other ones we've just been dusting and then taking them out. So like, you're not going to see really any mites in any of these containers. But that's why all this white powder is diatomaceous earth. But we had some of that with our bean beetles as well. So we just wanted to make sure everything was cleared off before we redid it all. So we got new bloodlines. We redid all of our containers. Some of them, you know, fruit fly cups normally have mites. That's just something that's common. We're just working on getting rid of all of it in general. Because, you know, once they get tainted, it's hard to get out of them or get them out of it. So we're just kind of going a little project 4 generations down of just dusting the crap out of like 100 flies, like the first 100 that become adults. We kind of just take those out before any of the mite populations could even grow at all, if there is any in there, and then take them out, dust them, and then we'll put another 10 of those, 10 to 15, in another container. Do that after 3 to 4 generations. You can almost guarantee, as long as nothing else, the container or this and the rack, all that doesn't have mites, you can get mites out of your cultures. So with that being said, I'm working on that project because I very much care about my customers. And even though the mites, some people do use them, especially for their smaller species of frogs or their babies, like the thumbnails or the babies, they can use the mites as a food source. Unless you're ordering mites themselves, you usually don't want them in your container, even though sometimes it can be beneficial if you have small frogs, like I said. But that's a project that I'm working on. That's a little update about all of this. I have more things happening at other places, but like over here we have just our colonies, some of our colonies of dubia roaches going on. These are just our breeding colonies with a bunch of babies. But we are going to start, for now, getting ready to wholesale some of these. So not out of these colonies, but ordering some, growing them out, selling them retail, maybe a little bit lower than that, who knows. But then really plan on getting like 30,000 every month for the next 6-7 months. And then once that 7-month hits, that first generation of babies should be coming around that time from the dubias, from the first month that we bought. So we got a plan for those. That'll be another video. But today, let's talk about these guys. Hornworms, hornworm breeding. I've done it before, but I haven't done it at a large scale. So what are hornworms? They're also known as, I forgot the names of them already. I know one was the tobacco hawk moth, but then I forgot the other name, the Goliath or giant worm. I don't know. But these guys are native to, I think, pretty sure there's like 2 different versions of them. I don't know the scientific name. I can get it for you if you want, but a quick Google search can answer that. But these guys are native to, you know, America. So you can see some of these outside in the wild. Things that I would recommend is grabbing these out in the wild is not going to be the best thing, because if you're going to be feeding these to your pets, the chances of them having parasites is a heck of a lot more than if you were to buy them from a pet store or some local breeder who's bred these generation through and through. and made sure that there's no, issues in them, because you definitely don't want that getting passed on to your animal. But with that being said, these guys, I bought 20 of them from a pet store today because they were this size, getting ready to move over. Now, I'm not going to be making the bedding in this video, but I'll just tell you what I use. Some people use different bedding. I mainly just use peat moss. So that's just what's going to be in the bedding of that. Stepped on that. But yeah, that's just mainly what's going to be in the bedding of this enclosure. And I'll tell you why. Right now, a pretty cool thing, you can tell when these guys are ready, because look at, you see like their beating heart? Whenever their heart starts beating like that. And this is why I say I was a klutz. I was a little dumb. I should have looked for that in these guys before I just put food in here. Because once that starts happening, that means they are of size to where they want to burrow themselves in something to start the cocooning process and the metamorphosis to turn into beetles. Or not beetles, that's superworms. I've been doing a lot of superworms and mealworms too. But to turn into moths. So with that being said, a lot of them are covered in the food because if you guys can see, look at the spine. You see that beating right there? Okay, let's see. There we go. Now you can see that beating. He is one of the ones that buried himself. This one was starting to bury himself. He has that beating as well. Not as prominent, but he definitely still has it. And all of these, though, majority of them already have that beating going on. Some of them are already changing colors. Things that I did not keep track of that I should have. So like I said, that beating that you see on the top of them is their signal of getting ready to metamorphosize. So really, this is just going to be part one of the video. Because once they metamorphosize, they turn into these. I'm pretty sure it's just called the pupa. And the pupa is literally, this is like what it is. You can already kind of see. They do move in this stage too. You can see like right at the bottom. Will he move? He's not moving that much. There you go. Don't like want to squish him or anything. There you go. So you can see he moves. It's usually just the bottom half of the body, not the top half. But when you're looking at him, you can see as they're metamorphosizing, the wings right here. I'm not squeezing him at all. He's basically just sitting in my hand. But you see the wings. Here, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit more. There you go. You can see the wings of it and the mouth and the head. That is all important for them. So once you put them in here, you just want them to move, or you don't want them to move, but you want them to be on the top of the soil. They're going to bury themselves, give them a little, here, let me zoom out. They're going to bury themselves, give them a little bit, and then you can go ahead and take them out of this. Now, my one of my guys was starting the project, so we got these 3. The other ones didn't make it. I have a little bit more experience with it, so I went ahead and just bought 20 that were already the size because I know I can handle that with the babies and all that. That's where, like I said, this whole area doesn't look that big, but this whole area is going to be dedicated just to them for now. And if we need to grow, we'll grow. But got to get the project started and the clients, make the clients happy before we can go buying anything else. So that's where we're going to end the video for today. For the part 1, it's just these guys. Like I said, all they're going to do, before I finish this video, all they're going to do is go onto here, the ones that have the pulsating backs. I'm going to go into the soil, or the mixture that I have, which is really just peat moss. This isn't peat moss, this is more of a soil. But they're just going to go into the peat moss, and then they're going to dig around, and when they dig around, they're going to basically start the transformation cocoon when they're underneath the soil. You could just take them out, put them on top of the soil, just so you know how much you have, just so you know how much passed away, how much spoiled, anything like that. You can always just check if you have them at the top. Just put a lid on top and let them do their thing. After that, whenever you're done filling up a bin, or unless you've already went through like a week or two, and you start getting close to like their hatch dates, some hatch faster than others, then you would put that in the tub. But besides for that, I will go over the rest of this in the next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, I got a lot more updates with the frogs, with some of the isopods and different species I want to go over. Some new ones that we're going to be getting. I'll sneak one of them right here. We have, what's one of the new ones? I'm going to go over this. So we have like some of the Cubara salmon that we just got. They're $100 species. As you guys can tell, we care about our isopods. We'll pay the price because we want to make sure that you guys can get it for the right price, for a good price, a fair price, but also be able to have them readily available for all of our clients, especially since we sell 15 counts for many of our species. We want to make sure that you guys can breed, keep, and have a great experience with them. So that's it for the video. English. That is it for the video, guys. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace!